Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a keto low carb cinnamon roll. Let's get right into it. First thing we're gonna do is whisk our dry ingredients together. Of course, you know I'm gonna include all the instructions in the description below along with the measurements of everything that I'm using. I just have some almond flour here and I'm gonna take some baking powder. And this is some Monkfruit Erythritol sweetener. You can use any kind of artificial sweetener that you like. I'm gonna put that in and then let's whisk this together. Perfect. Now that that's whisked in, let's move on to the next step. Now we're gonna start working on the dough. So I have some mozzarella cheese here, and this is low moisture mozzarella. And then I am gonna take some cream cheese, throw that in there, and let's pop this into the microwave. We are going to melt it in 20-second spurts until we see that it's starting to all melt together. All right, it's been about a minute. Let's mix this all together. Now that I've mixed that together, I'm going to transfer this into a food processor and process it until it is completely smooth. So let's transfer this in here. And you wanna make sure that your cheese is not too hot. And the reason is because we're gonna add eggs to this dough. So if it's too hot, it's gonna cook the eggs before you even put it into the oven. All right, let's put the lid on. And turn that on. Let's take a look. All right, that looks good. And we're going to add our eggs in now. Put that back on and turn this on again. Okay, that is perfect. It should have almost like a cottage cheese consistency. And now that that's done, let's set this aside. And we are gonna put this into the dry ingredients that we already mixed together. Let's put this in. Now let's mix this together. Just keep mixing this until it's combined. You wanna make sure that there is absolutely no dry ingredients that are just, flying around in here. Next, what we're gonna do is we are gonna take this dough and we are gonna form it into a rectangle on a cutting board. I'm gonna spray it down with some avocado oil spray before I do that. And that's just to prevent it from sticking. Okay, let's take this. This is our dough and we are just going to transfer it to here. And now let's form this into a rectangle. If it starts to get too sticky, just take some water and put it in between your hands to prevent the sticking while you're rolling out the dough. So this is what you want it to look like after you have made it into a rectangle. And I just have some melted butter here. We're gonna do the filling for the cinnamon roll. So I have the melted butter and you're just gonna take a brush and we are gonna brush the butter all over the dough. I love making this dessert. It is super easy and it's really good for like if you're hosting people or just at home if you love cinnamon rolls. Super, super easy and super delicious. Okay, that is perfect. Let's set the butter aside. And then here I have a mixture of, this is a brown sugar substitute. And so it's erythritol substitute, and then a cinnamon. So I have this mixture and we are just gonna sprinkle this all over. already smells so good. You wanna make sure you're covering all of the edges. Don't miss any part of the dough. Okay, that's perfect. Let me set this aside and then we are going to roll this dough. All right, now that we have all of the sugar all over the dough, it's time to roll it. So you're going to gently lift this edge and start rolling this dough into a log. Just like you would a regular cinnamon roll. Be really gentle. Of course, this is not the same kind of dough as a regular dough, so it's a little more fragile. So you just want to be really careful. Take your time, no rush. As you're doing this, if you see any cracks forming in the dough, just fix them as you're rolling it. Again, with this as well, if you're rolling it and it's starting to break apart really, really easily, then just wet your hands a little bit and then it'll be much easier to roll. Your hands won't stick to the dough. All right, so we have formed the dough into a log and now we're gonna take a sharp knife and slice this into about 1 inch thick pieces. And I'm using a really sharp knife for this. This is one by the company Global. I'll link it in my description below. You wanna make sure that the knife that you're using for this is super, super sharp because the dough is so fragile. So you wanna make sure it cuts really well. These by Global are so amazing. Not a sponsor, just a huge fan. Now that I've sliced all the pieces, let's get our baking dish, which I have pre-lined with parchment paper, and I'm gonna show you how to place it inside the dish. Okay, I have my baking dish here. And I'm gonna do the end pieces last. Let's take these middle pieces and carefully place them faced up like this in the dish. And you can see all of these delicious layers here. We want all of those facing up. Again, be really careful here. It's okay if they're not perfect. They don't have to be perfect. It's all about the taste and curbing those cravings that you have for cinnamon rolls. I know I have those cravings for cinnamon rolls. Especially one from Cinnabon. Not a sponsor. Just a huge fan of Cinnabon. All right, so I have my the pieces placed in here in the dish, and now we're gonna throw them into the oven. I have my oven preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're gonna bake them for 20 minutes. All right, let's take this to the oven. Our cinnamon rolls are almost done in the oven, so we are gonna make our frosting now. So I have cream cheese and butter that is softened. It's been out for the whole time that we've been doing this. And I am just going to mix these two together until they're combined. Okay, now that this is combined, I have powdered artificial sweetener here. I am using a Stevia Erythritol sweetener. And this is a little trick. If you don't have any powdered sweetener, if you just take the granulated sweetener and you put it in a food processor, it turns it into powder. So that's what I did here. And we're gonna slowly add this into the mixture until it's fully combined. It's a little bit at a time. Now that this is basically all combined, I'm gonna take some almond milk and slowly add it until it turns into like a syrupy consistency. All right, so this is combined and we are going to put this in a plastic bag so that we can pipe it. And so an easy way to do that is if you take a glass or any kind of tall container like this, and then you turn it inside out like that, it makes it so much easier to put anything that you're piping all the way to the bottom of the bag. So we're gonna do that with this. Okay, this is all ready. Let's set this aside so that we can take out our cinnamon rolls. Let's take it out of the oven. Ooh, this looks so good. Oh my God, it smells absolutely delicious. Take a look at these. I can't wait to put the frosting on. It already smells so amazing. Now we can frost them. So I'm just gonna take this bag that we have our icing in, and we are going to snip off the end. All right. And then you just gently put the frosting on. All right, here is our finished product. It looks so good, it smells absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait to taste it. Just cut out a piece right here. My God, it looks so good. Take a look at that. Oh my God. This literally tastes exactly like a regular cinnamon roll. You would have absolutely no idea that you used no flour in this. Completely keto friendly, completely low carb, and absolutely delicious. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also hit that notification bell to never miss a tasty upload. Till next time.